Some say you can't judge a book by its cover. I say they just haven't tried hard enough. Welcome to Cover Court. As a digital artist myself, I care a lot about promotional work. Logos, trailers, and essentially everything used to get someone who doesn't already want to buy something is very important to me. But far too often do I find that companies end up being lazy in these divisions, going for generic ideas beaten to death ages ago without any innovation or creativity put into it at all. Especially when it comes to video game box arts. Cover Court is where these images come to be judged by yours truly. Without further ado, let's begin. The court is in session. We're looking at an old and tired marketing technique here. The back on the front style of cover artwork is defined by the back of a character being a central part of the cover. It's meant to make the player feel like they're about to step into the world that the character, most often a generic male character cloaked in shadow, is looking out over. It's a look that can be used well, but it's more often than not an excuse to not have to think too much about what to put on the cover. Look no further than the Dark Souls series. From Software's 2011 RPG Dark Souls, which you can watch me play here, was a major success, and it's worth looking at its box art both in Japan and in the West. In Japan, Dark Souls featured a very dim-lit cover of the player character, cloaked mostly in shadows, sitting by a bonfire with their back to the viewer. Bonfires being a central gameplay mechanic, this both fit the game very well, but also provided a striking and memorable look. When the localization team brought over Dark Souls, they changed the cover art to another image of a player character with their back to the viewer. This time, as they are immersed in souls of the undead, another gameplay mechanic from the game, giving a beautiful blue glow to the artwork. Different, but still working within the same trope. Because they have not abused the back on the front trope for generic laziness, I'm going to deem Dark Souls not guilty. But let's look at the sequel, Dark Souls 2. In Japan we had another bonfire cover, but since it does not take part of the trope that's on topic, let's put that aside and look at the Western box art. The cover for 2014's Dark Souls 2 is not only lacking in color, but also in creativity and memorability. The monochrome artwork doesn't do anything to catch the eye, and the lack of anything happening in the artwork makes for a boring portrayal of what could be in the game. If I don't know anything about Dark Souls, this box art will turn me off buying the game instantly. It's most certainly guilty. While we're talking about Dark Souls, let's look at its younger sister from earlier this year. Bloodborne, released exclusively on PlayStation 4, was considered by many a better Dark Souls sequel than Dark Souls 2 itself. Once again, almost per tradition, we're dealing with a cover artwork using the same trope as before. The game was originally revealed to have this artwork, a player character standing on the streets of London. While it's not eye-catching or particularly interesting, it does give a great image of what the game is offering. However, as we drew closer to release, we'll learn that this cover was indeed only meant for the special slip cover of the game. So what did the game's actual box art look like? Like this. Gone is the color, gone is the personality, and gone is everything acceptable about the Bloodborne box art. Though the spots of blood look nice and the idea of seeing the streets of London through the player character isn't bad in theory, it comes off as an image that feels more unfinished than anything else. Bloodborne is judged guilty of crimes against cover artwork. Not called to trial was Demon's Souls and Dark Souls 3. It seems both of these games have avoided using the trope talked about today, perhaps for the better, but do not think yourself safe. I'm always watching and ready to judge all covers I find abysmal. Court dismissed.